Hey, welcome back every day. Today we're checking on the worm bin where 2 weeks ago we added a whole bunch of cardboard because there was a high level of moisture in here. So we're gonna lift up the cover and check in on it again and see how the moisture level is doing. Okay, so straight up it's looking a little promising because I'm actually seeing some dry cardboard over here on the side. It's a little bit more wet here as I get into the center. So at least there was some extra capacity to pick up the moisture. So as always, we're gonna start over here on the right, see if we can pull out a few of the finished worm castings, just having a little bit more to add to my garden. So this looks pretty good here. That was a big worm. We'll save him. I'll just pick out a few of the larger worms I see as I'm pulling out the castings. But it's nice that there's only like a couple of worms here because it's a little bit drier, not as much food. So it makes this stage a lot easier. All right, that's pretty good. All right, and then we will go ahead and reach down and fluff this up. I like checking on my worms, checking on my castings. This side over here with the finished castings is still feeling like a bit more like clay, wet clay, just because it's finished. I didn't add the cardboard over here because I don't want to mix into cardboard with the stuff that I'm ready to start pulling out. So this I really just need to like actually do a better job in. It can be very easy to harvest from here if I just come in through the week and just pull a little bit off the top a couple of times over the 2 weeks, because the worms will migrate down and I can pull a little bit off the top. I just didn't really do that. So I'll probably, that's on my list for the next 2 weeks, come down here and mine some of this black gold we got. But yeah, this is fully broken down. Good level of moisture. Just, good solid fertilizer for the garden. Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit more into where we started adding a little bit more of the cardboard. Oh yeah, and because there's more stuff here, immediately the first thing I pull out, there's quite a few more worms because they were hanging out here, because there's actually cardboard to eat. Also, the cardboard's a little bit nicer of a place for them to stay. And then I also had some food in here. So there's food, housing. This is where I want them to be. This is where I want them to do their work. So I'm quite happy to see them here. In terms of the moisture level, it for sure isn't too dry. I wouldn't say it's too wet, but I'll probably add a good amount of cardboard again this week. It is heavy with all the water. They did go through most of the cardboard that was in here. There was a little bit more cardboard from 4 weeks ago in this section, but there's not nearly as much there now. So I'll stack this up a little bit more over to the side, and we'll probably start harvesting this stuff in another 2 weeks. Okay, now, excuse me, bump the camera a little bit there. This is where we added majority of the cardboard, and you could see they were quite happy still with the level of moisture we had here with quite a bit of dry cardboard. So this is where the food is, and the food also added more moisture to counteract a lot of the cardboard we added. And they are just living large. Look at that. Yeah, so while the cardboard on the surface was maybe a little bit dry, a lot of the water sunk down, and we just have Worm Town down here. I love touching them. They don't love it, so that's why I only do it once every 2 weeks, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm seeing a good amount of cardboard, about an appropriate level of moisture. I'm much happier with the moisture here, not getting any of the a little bit ranker smell I was getting 2 weeks ago. It smells nice and fresh. And the worms seem dark and happy, so look at them. And I'm really not seeing any undigested food. And oh, here's something. Here's a bigger piece, maybe a big chunk of banana that I didn't pull apart that they didn't get to. That's like the first bit of food that I found so far. So we got a bag of cucumbers that went bad much faster than we expected it to. So they will get to chomp on that over the next 2 weeks. I'm sure that'll keep them busy. Cucumbers also have a lot of water in them, so we will continue to add quite a bit of cardboard to keep kind of interacting that. All right. So the main thing here is we did the intervention we applied 2 weeks ago in terms of cardboard seemed exactly right. We got a very good level of moisture in here. We're not seeing a bunch of food stacking up and rotting, so it seems like we're feeding the appropriate amount. If anything, we could feed more. If we had more to feed them, we could do that. Let me get these worms off my fingers. And then so let's just continue to add the appropriate mix of cardboard. Here's the shredded cardboard, a little bit of shredded newspaper in here. And I'm going to continue adding a lot, as well as the my other normal amendments. So let's start with coffee grounds and eggshells. It's my coffee from the week. Here's some eggshells, ground up. What is it? Molcajete, mortar and pestle. So let me just hand break up these espresso pucks, just because they have a hard time going through the condensed coffee. Mix that in a little bit. Now let's add in our veggie scrubs. Okay, there's quite a bit here, so let's get them mixed in. You can see all the cucumbers, a little bit of cabbage. Mix that in so it's easy for them to, nice little bed and breakfast. Just because we've had the moisture issue, I'm going to add just a little bit more cardboard. Very good. And then I will go ahead and cover it all up. So the major thing we have to do here is this bin is getting a little deep. It's not too much of a problem for the worms yet. I still have plenty of room in the bin, but this one does need to be harvested. So over the next week, I'm going to try and get as much of this stuff here on the far right out of the bin. So hopefully when we see you in 2 weeks, we'll have a lot more space to work with. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.